the Nikki Clarke Show live here at the Paint Box Bistro, 555 Dundas Street East. And how's everybody doing? Fantastic. All right, I love it. I love it. The weather outside is looking a little frightful, but the people inside here are delightful. And we've got a great show lined up for you. We've got our resident DJ, Josh Clark, here. Make some noise for him. He's a DJ that does it all. And we've got amazing guests. And if you're wondering about the color motif and the flags behind me, well, there is a reason for that. We're celebrating Canada's 150th birthday. So make some noise for that. And as I sit here as a proud Canadian, I have to recall the day I actually came to Canada. I was a youngster from Jamaica. Parents holding their hands and walking through the airport. I just remember a little flash in my early childhood experience, and I remember it being extremely cold because we got here in the dead of winter in December from hot Kingston, and I thought, why did my parents do this? But it was something that changed my life, and I am a proud Canadian, and my children are Canadians, and we're here to stay, and I'm so proud to be part of this rainbow of diversity. The multiculturalism here in Canada is what we're very proud of, and I want to share that with you today. We've got a great group of people who have transformational stories to share. So you don't want to go anywhere. You're here, the Nikki Clarke Show, live at Paint Box Bistro. Come right back. We got some stuff for you. All right, welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show here, live at Paint Box Bistro. And the show is about transforming lives one story at a time, conversations that matter. And we have a beautiful woman here with us to share her story with us. She is the founder of High Heel Diaries. Everyone, please put your hands together for Natalie Wilson. And I still love the heels.
Thank you.
And I like how you coordinated the hair. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Natalie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. And I know you're very busy. You're one of the women who juggle it all. You've got a lovely family. Your husband's here,
yes,
and I met your mother. Beautiful family. Mm-hmm. And you're out there and you're inspiring so many women and men who have been through quite a journey where health is concerned. So let's talk a little bit about your journey here. How did that happen?
Yes, my journey. It's been long, and it's actually, your journey through healing it never ends. Mine began, I'd say in 2003, really. 2003, we lost my sister, my sibling,
Sorry.
Aisha. She's a beautiful soul. She's up there right now. She's doing woo-woo right now. So that was a trying time for me, and it was a time where I had to start thinking further about life and how I move about my life and what I do and say and how I interact. In 2008, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. This was 3 months after my son was born. I was young. I was 35 and, didn't know history in my family. And I did things well. I ate well. I exercised. I did everything that the doctor says you should do to stay healthy. And it's a long story, but in the end, I chose to do a mastectomy, have a mastectomy. And I told the doctor, I said, I'm young and I don't want to worry about this. So while you're doing one side, let's do the other. My type was a common type of breast cancer, early breast cancer, ductal carcinoma in situ. And a lot of women may not know that they even have it because it's very silent. But it was into my body, and I felt it, and I knew this wasn't nothing, although the ultrasound and mammogram said that it was nothing. So it was my perseverance and the help with the doctors that we found that it was something to be concerned about. So I went through about 13 surgeries because the reconstruction was very difficult for me. I ended up having blood transfusions, formed hematomas, I had a flesh-eating disease across my chest
Oh my
due to
gosh.
the fat grafting as part of the reconstruction. I had a rough time of it, and the summer of 2016, I was coming to the end, so I thought it was surgery
What do you mean
number
by the end?
this end of my reconstruction. So it was surgery number 13, supposedly lucky number 13, summer 16. So I said, okay, well, it's time to try to put this behind me. Because for me, going through the reconstruction process was part of me becoming a woman again, being whole as a woman again. And in my mind, I believed that I needed my breasts to be a woman. And I think, men and women, our anatomy tells us, outwardly what we are. And I needed my breasts, so I thought. And that was part of my journey to become whole and become a woman again. Went for my last surgery, and come to find out after that surgery that the breast cancer had returned. So this was diagnosis number 2.
So how do you feel? You're thinking, this is it. Number 13, I can pack it up.
Absolutely.
And
I
then
thought it was.
you get that kind of news.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to close that chapter of my book and get on to a new stage, another chapter. In the meantime, I'm continuing to rear my family and, do what we normally do and do what women do, robotically. You take care of your children, you work, do all these
Automatic
different things.
pilot.
Yes. Complications ensued after that surgery, after the second diagnosis. And I tell you, God works in mysterious ways because of those complications with the second surgery, sorry, not the second surgery, the second diagnosis and the surgery to remove that cancer. I had complications from that, which drew me back into surgery, which in turn ended up finding the third cancer in the same breast, in the underlying surface of the tissue. So it came back a third time, and this was all within 2 months in last summer. So at this time now, I'm that much older. I'm 8 years older than I was when it happened the
Wiser.
first time. Wiser. Learned a lot. And instead of seeing it as, woe is me, I never really thought of it like that. I thought, I'm being hit with this for the third time, but yet it's being caught. So instead of thinking, gosh, this is 3 times and why me? I thought more like, we caught this 3 times and I'm still here.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do with this? What is God telling me? Or whoever you believe in, you always have to believe that there's a reason for everything that happens in your life. And so I started to think of it like that.
Yeah.
And I just started to think that I need to give back. And it was a way of me helping myself as a way of also helping others. And so that's what has brought me now to form the business that I'm running right now, High Heel Diaries.
Okay. And the name Heal
Yes.
is H-E-A-L.
Yes, H-E-A-L.
Okay, to heal. All right. Natalie, I'm hearing this and I can't imagine. I empathize, but it's just an incredible journey of you're going through a lot of pain, you're going through a lot of discomfort, and then part of it too must be seeing your family go through,
Absolutely.
watching you go through all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you?
It was difficult because you definitely, when you're going through painful struggles, whether it's physically or emotional, you're not alone. And a lot of times, a lot of people see themselves as being the only one that's in it. But when you have people that are surrounding you, your loved ones, your children, you have to understand that they're feeling it as well. They're maybe affected. They are affected. Children might react in different ways. My son, he's 9. He's only saw me in and out of the hospital for all of his life.
That's all he knows.
That's all he knew. So he's at the age now where he can ask, a lot of questions. Your family, they have to care for you. So there's a lot of, taking time out of their day. Not that they ever complained, but, I had to be cognizant of the fact that it was difficult for other people. And it took me a little while to realize that. Like I kind of almost expected that I was the one that was in physical pain and emotional pain. So you have to react to me a certain way. For a little while, I was like that. And it actually took me counseling to understand that other people are being affected, and I have to understand how others are feeling as well. So, you know, I'm better about that now.
It's kind of a lesson too in humility in a way.
Absolutely.
Because you have to surrender
Yeah.
a lot to the care of others.
Yeah, you
and,
do.
Yeah, and be
Yeah.
mindful of how they feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the only one. And so I knew that I'm here in this place, but I'm getting better, but I'm doing it not only by the grace of God, but also with the loved ones that are helping me and supporting me through it all. And it was due to a lot of people coming to visit me while I was sick in bed. Throughout all my surgeries, I had 16 surgeries in total. And just as a note, after the 16th surgery, after all the surgeries, I ended up losing one breast altogether. And so that was a little bit of a kick, because, I went through all the surgeries in order to get to an end place. And I knew in my head I needed to have another surgery. Although I was having setbacks, I knew I had to have another surgery to get to the end, because that was the end result. As long as I was healthy, I needed to reconstruct. So it took people sitting with me and saying, Natalie, you need to share your story. You need to talk about this more, because you have a way of speaking to people which makes them reflect. And I was getting a lot of, I'm going to go to the doctor. Thank you for talking about it, because I didn't know this and I didn't know that. So a lot of people were taking strength from me, and with that is in part of that was why I decided that I needed to do something, and that's where High Heel Diaries came about. I also became a certified coach practitioner, which is a life coach, so that I can help people get from one stage of their life to the next as a way of overcoming adversity.
Yes.
So I do that. High Heel Diaries, there's a lot involved with, I do a lot with High Heel Diaries. So we'll talk
There's
more.
a cathartic release when you put to paper your emotions and you share it. Not only do you heal yourself, but you heal the reader. And I think that's a beautiful platform that you've created. And where can people tap into that? Where can they find the diaries, or to contact you to be part of it?
Yep. High Heel Diaries, you can find me in a lot of different places, and you can see me in action in a lot of different places. I write stories, so on my website, everything is on my website, highheeldiaries.com, and it's HEAL for healing, of course. High Heel Diaries has all my services. It has stories that I write. My stories are about circumstances whereby, I might have a circumstance with somebody in the public, and it reflects on, the nature of humanity, so I write about it. Again, I do videos, I do interviews. My talk show's on YouTube, the High Heel Diaries YouTube talk show. And I interview women that are going through or have gone through different stages of their life where they are now healing. So my website, I'm on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. So that's where you can find me. High Heel Diaries is the way you can find me through everything.
Beautiful. And the healing isn't necessarily just physical. It could be an emotional healing.
Absolutely.
Suffering like a loss or
Absolutely.
grieving.
It's
okay.
Everything. Because, I can relate, because I've been through all of that as well. So I'm at a place now at my age. I'm 44, and I feel that
You look
I have enough
fabulous,
wisdom.
by the way.
Thank you.
She does not look 44.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
No. Keep doing what you're doing.
I feel I have enough wisdom now to impart to others about my experiences and how I can help. I can empathize and sympathize now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's the gift of life experiences, is that we can give
Absolutely.
back our wisdom.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So if you could do something for me now, if you could look into the audience lens, and for someone who's watching you live or later on, and they're going through an illness, they're going through a loss, they're grieving, what would you give them as a word of encouragement?
Well, I would definitely say that in your darkest moments, when you feel that you're never going to come out of it, because I've been there, always know that there are days that are coming and they're going to get better, that you cannot be in a hard place, in a dark place forever, and that always remember that as much as you think that life is difficult for you, without comparison though, always realize that someone else might have it more difficult. And pick yourself up and keep on, and be an example and an inspiration for others. Because as much as you think that you're having a hard time, when you rise above it, other people will see that strength, and then they can do that as well.
Amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Natalie Wilson, everybody. High Heel Diaries. Check her out. We'll be back.